Hello, hello. Welcome back to another 30 minutes of me yapping. Today is a pretty special one because I'm finally playing Elune's Chosen in high key. And you know what? It wasn't actually that bad. I think I think Stonevault is one of the better keys for sure for Elune's Chosen. And then we actually timed it on the 16 as well, so I think it's a pretty good one to VOD review. We go in, obviously I have to moonfire everything manually, dispel the two stacker, and then the opener is a little different than usual. I mean, it's not actually that different. Instead of pressing trees and then pressing incarn, you now press Fear of Elune incarn. And then you're just star falling, star firing. And I'm using up my two dream states first by hardcasting Starfire, and then I'll pop Warrior of Elune. Yeah, I was kind of just playing this pull safe. I could have probably done more damage here, but I was just looking out for a good beam, trying to vortex the mobs as well and pull, just get the dispels going. Still pretty good damage though. But I think on this pull, ideally I can get to like 15 mil if I play everything perfectly with the Elune's Chosen. Right here, I'm just gonna walk over to the left, pre-position a bit. And then I'm gonna enter Eclipse, Fear of Elune, then pop CDs. Use the one Dream State, then Warrior of Elune. Starfall, Starfire, Starfall, Starfire. You can basically Starfall every second global when you're pressing Warrior of Elune. It's pretty hilarious. And then here, obviously just going Lunar Eclipse for every single situation. Nothing to go too much in depth into here. Just Starfire and Starfall anytime that there is two or more mobs. Very simple. And when you're playing this build, it's important to always just send your Fear of Elune on cooldown. Because when you're playing Elune's Chosen, it's all about Fear of Elune. With the hero talent, there are like three different things that are buffing your damage coming from Fear of Elune. There's, well, I can't remember the names now, but one is that you see this blue debuff that they have next to Smolder here. Basically, anytime you have Fear of Elune up, you do 6% more damage to every target getting hit by Fear of Elune. Then also, uh, you have something called Boundless Moonlight, which is like an AoE explosion anytime your Fear of Elune finishes. So you just want to send as many Fear of Elunes as possible. And then there's also a chance with every Moonfire you have that you're gonna proc a random Fear of Elune. And Boundless Moonlight also does damage from that. So there's a bit of RNG involved with Elune's Chosen compared to Keeper of the Grove. Which means that if you get lucky, you can do a lot higher damage than with Keeper of the Grove. But if you get unlucky, you might do same or less than Keeper of the Grove, where Keeper of the Grove kind of wins out in the consistency department. But yeah, on single target here, I mean, the rotation kind of speaks for itself. You're pressing two buttons, and once in a while you're refreshing your dots. And it's pretty important to also enter an eclipse as often as possible, like before sending cooldowns, so you can cycle your what's it called, Sundered Firmament, the stuff that gives you a free Fear of Elune every second eclipse, because it doesn't get procced if you just incarn. Like for some reason, just pressing incarn doesn't count as entering a new eclipse, as far as I know. Yeah, sometimes I do miss having the extra damage reduction from pressing regrowth, especially on these very high keys on these boss fights. I was actually pressing regrowth DR a lot, especially in stuff like Dawnbreaker. Maybe on a 17 stone vault, this beam is gonna one shot me if I don't have any DR up for it. Like, let's say we break one of these pillars and I'm getting the next one, I could get a tick at the same time as getting the laser beam. That'll be an issue for another day. But I do like playing Elune's Chosen in here a lot. I think it's good for the bosses, apart from this boss. And I also think it's good for basically every trash pull in here. Because you're just pulling big all the time. And that's kind of what you want to do with Elune's Chosen. Like, the bigger the better, because you're fully uncapped compared to Dream Burst. Dream Burst is like soft cap to 5 targets. It does reduce damage beyond that. Also, something I forgot to mention is that haste is extremely, well, not extremely, but it's a lot better for Elune's Chosen compared to. Oh, Jesus, I almost died here. I had to bear from twice. Um, Haste is a lot better with EC compared to Keeper of the Grove. And at the moment, I have like 8,600 haste, which is pretty low. All right, something really unfortunate is going to happen here. We're going to commit to killing it. I don't think my healer's prepping anything for this. And, oh, why didn't I send Fear of Elune here? Oh no, I actually griefed by not pressing Fear of Elune here. And now we all die. Bye bye, Spymaster stacks. That was actually my fault, looking back at it. Could have done some more damage at the end there. But I bet my Shaman was holding his Tempests as well. He probably could have done some more as well. I just really wanted to have Fear of Elune going into this pull. So we dot up everything. This is a pretty easy pull to dot because you're going to have it dotted by the time they stack up anyways. Use the 2 Dream States first. Boom, boom. A Shadow Melt to get another 2 stack of Dream Burst. Dispel my healer. And then another Fear of Elune. And yeah, you're just Starfiring, Starfalling. You just need to know you just need to know when you're pressing Fear of Elune, because sometimes, like here, I'm not gonna press it obviously, and then I'll hold it for the start of the next eclipse, because you can also see here that I have a Sundered Firmament proc ready. So on this pull, I'm gonna Moonfire everything again, like usual. I kinda want to enter this eclipse, so I have 2 Fear of Elunes up right now. I got a random proc and I got one from my Sundered Firmament. I have full dots up, and then we do Fear of Elune, Incarn. I didn't have any dream states, so I just instantly pressed War of Elune. And yeah, even outside of Incarn, if you just proc a lot of Fear of Elunes, you're actually doing insane damage. I really want to try this build again once I get the Sikran neck. It's gonna boost my haste by like 5k. It should make a massive difference. Yeah, this is a spicy pull, but looks like we have the kicks under control. I did a bad beam earlier in this pack. The next pull, I have CDs again. CDs for everything. I think sometimes I should get the PI if I'm playing this build, but when we were going into this key, it was kind of a spontaneous thing that I wanted to try. Elune's chosen in a high key. All right, here we go again. Just enter Eclipse, dot everything up. Okay, I actually want to talk about this a bit. Usually, what you should be doing is starfalling here when you're at 100 AP. But there's a bug with Harmony, our talent. Um, Basically, if you use starfalls or star surges outside of Eclipse or in Lunar Eclipse, you're not gonna get the damage buff in your Incarn if you pop your Incarn. That's why I'm not pressing anything here. So I really hope they're gonna fix this bug soon, because it's actually losing us quite a bit of DPS sometimes. Here I got an Unbound Changeling proc at the same time as popping cooldowns, which is pretty insane. I'm actually missing a Sunfire on one of these mobs. It probably came in a bit behind the others. Kind of funny how the one mob missing a Sunfire is the one dying last. uh, Funny spec. Alright, we go into next pull. I have CDs again, but I don't think I press my CDs here, because we're gonna Bloodlust the boss, and I kinda wanna have my CDs with Bloodlust. Oh, I do pop here. Never mind. Not sure if that's the correct play. I mean, I guess I do get CDs around when he has Ascendance back. Another thing about Elune's Chosen is that it also has a lot better prio damage. Like right now, I'm doing a lot of damage to this Despoiler compared to what I would be doing if I was playing Keeper of the Grove. Pretty good recovery on this pull considering our tank died. It's always nice when the tank has bubble taunt right after he dies. Just gets aggro of everything and doesn't have to use defensives. Now this boss is always extremely spicy when playing Boomkin, because it does a lot of damage, and you're also not really the best spec at doing burst damage on the shield, unless you have cooldowns for it specifically. I'm just gonna passive cleave most of these ads. Let the shaman hard swap to them, because I lose a bit too much damage if I hard swap. Uh, but maybe in your pugs you should be swapping a bit more than I'm doing here. Well, we got a big shield here, but I'm pretty sure my shaman had like double Tempest ready for this, so he's just gonna destroy the shield. There he goes. It's always nice to get Unbound Changeling procs. You know you're blasting when you see it. Press Fear of Elune. Yeah. Slam it on cooldown, as always. I'm just gonna give them like one Moonfire. That's about all I do to these. And then I can cleave them a bit with Starfire. Unless it's the last one. If it's the last one that needs to die, I'll probably hard swap a bit more. Like this one, for example. I'm hitting. My shaman is not hitting, so it does die. Fear of Elune. and a bit of damage, but my buff is almost running out, so... Oh, it actually lasted perfectly. But yeah, I'm not doing a lot of damage right now because I only had one incarn going into this boss, and it was with the Lust. Here, I pop my Spymaster? No, yeah, pop it. I popped it a bit late. I should have popped it earlier there. Just a little Moonfire and a Sunfire. Jesus, my health dropped to like 10%. Now we're in full CDs. I think we're killing one more shield if I remember correctly. I think in general, if you're in a pug here and you can't rely on your other DPS to break these shields, it's probably good to like have Incarn ready for one or two of these shields. Because you can easily hold your Incarn when you're playing Whirling, what's it called? Whirling Stars? The double CA talent. You can pretty easily hold your cooldowns without losing anything. This is all my damage pretty much, so I'm just... Luckily I had Fear of Elune coming up. I had Warrior of Elune as well. But yeah, Shaman is definitely doing the bulk of the work on this boss. Alright, we go next pull. Got CDs. Got CDs for this and the pull after. So here I overkept a bit of AP because I wanted to send I mean Incarn on the robots, but the patrol was too fast, so we couldn't pull. But once I enter this new Eclipse, I'll pop cooldowns here. 1, 2, pop cooldowns, War of Elune, Starfall, Fear of Elune. And I'm getting some procs here on this pull actually. Getting a couple extra Fear of Elunes. It's pretty nice. You're just constantly having this 6% damage buff up on your enemies. It's pretty nice. Moonfire everything. And I think I just send here. Yeah. Use the 2 dream states. 1, 2. Then Warrior of Elune. And Starfire. Starfall. Starfire. Didn't have enough for Starfall, so I did another Starfire. Saving the Fear of Elune actually. Okay, press it. Just always press it on cooldown. It comes back so fast, it doesn't really matter if you press it at the end of a pull. Unless it's like 2% on the mobs, then you're obviously not going to press it if it's barely going to do any damage. But yeah, I pressed it at the end of this pack, and look at this. I already have it back. Now, this next pull is pretty interesting because I don't have any cooldowns. And I don't think I'm going to press cooldowns on this pull, but my Shaman does. And look at the difference. It's actually very minimal. This is like a massive pull. I have no cooldowns. Wait, do I pop? No, I think I saw that he popped, and I didn't want to pop as well, because then we would have nothing for next pull. So I'm just holding here. I get a Unbound Changeling proc, and this is about all my damage. It's just Fear of Elune and a Warrior. And I'm just ramping right now. Somehow my damage is just still going up. Because of I'm just getting a lot of Fear of Elune procs, and then my Boundless Moonlight damage is just ramping. So this is why you don't really see a lot of people play Elune's Chosen in lower keys, because you need stuff to live for a while. Like, even though my Shaman popped CDs on this pull, it was still a minute long. And now I have every cooldown available for this pull, which is also a pretty big pull. So I'm gonna dot everything. I'm gonna enter Eclipse here. Incarn. Worry of Elune because I don't have dream states. I wonder if it's worth to hold the dream states rather than enter an Eclipse. I'm actually not sure. I haven't played that much Elune's Chosen yet. And I think this is honestly the part, like this whole wing of the dungeon is probably the part where Elune's Chosen is like the highlight, I would say. You have a prio target with the robot, and then Elune's Chosen on massive pulls is like really good. And then you have Elune's Chosen on 2 targets on this boss, which is really insane, because the problem with Keeper of the Grove on this boss is that the bosses split up. Like half of the time they're a little split up. So it feels bad to go Lunar Eclipse half of the time, but it also feels bad to go Solar Eclipse half of the time. With Elune's Chosen, you only have one option, Lunar Eclipse. So you're just happy either way. Actually have an Unbound Changeling proc as well while I'm pressing Spymaster here, so I'm just absolutely annihilating this pack right now. 9 million DPS while main targeting the boss and doing good prio. Actually crazy. I did some sims, and the priority damage when playing Elune's Chosen is actually comparable to a DK's priority damage. Although it's still a little behind enhancement priority damage and assassination. I mean, assassination has the best prio in the game by far. We BL here. I'm gonna wait until I exit this lunar eclipse because of the bug. If you want to read more about the bug, you can also go onto dreamgrove.gg in the balance section, and it tells you a bit about it there. Because it's a bit hard for me to explain it right now. Yeah, I just hope they fix that bug ASAP. I think we can skip a bit here. Just doing same rotation anyways. Holding my income for next pull. So in our route, we don't want to play these. So it's my job to skip them. I'm a night elf, so I just run around like this. Bait them to the side. I run through, and I'm milled. I'm a bit scared about chaining combat to my shaman here if I walk into his totem, so I'm just gonna melt before entering. And then here we have a prio target while I'm popping cooldowns. This is also a really good Elune's Chosen pull. Fear of Elune, Incarn. For some reason I pressed Warrior of Elune, probably because... Yeah, probably because I thought I would move more than I actually had to. But that was a bit of a waste for sure. And look at the prio damage. This Smasher is dying before these guards. That's definitely also the shaman, but I'm doing my part. And then we chain it to the next pull, and I think I send my Spy Master here. I'm gonna wait for Eclipse to end. Going into next Eclipse, getting dots up, Warrior of Elune, Incarn, helping with totems. Boom, Starfire. That totem almost went off. Holy shit. Yeah, easy peasy. Going next pull. Don't die. Just live. Beaming for my tank. I mean, these pulls are pretty straightforward. You main target the Smasher, of course. You might want to swap a bit to the totems if your other DPS suck at it. Otherwise, you're just starfiring your main target. Pressing Fear of Elune when it's up. Big Starfire. There we go. Then we chain to boss. Enter Eclipse, Fear of Elune, Incarn. Kill off the Smasher before he does another smash. It's kind of in the name. Enter Eclipse, Fear of Elune. Unbound Changeling proc. Love to see it. Hopefully I can fit a Fear of Elune in there if I get it back fast enough. Nope, not gonna happen. Fear, Fear of Elune is up, so you press it. There I should have used the Dream State before popping War of Elune. Also, I think here I should have probably re-adapted. Yeah, could have maybe re-adapted at the end of that Eclipse instead. Instead of doing it at the start of next. Okay, I'm gonna send one more Fear of Elune here, I think. And then when this Eclipse ends, I'm gonna enter a new one and then pop all my cooldowns with my Spy Master here. Evoker just used his breath as well, so it's perfect timing. Using the Warrior of Elune while on the move, perfect. Yeah, the movement isn't actually that bad when you have Warrior of Elune ready for the right timings. Let's see, the Shaman's gonna pop here. Am I gonna get another cooldown back? Just barely. Not really. Oh, I didn't even get a chance. No. And the key's over. I think this was a pretty good one. despite me having some suboptimal stats for it. Because you definitely want, I want to say, you definitely want at least 13k haste. Like you can get to 13k haste with the Sikran neck without losing too much mastery. So that's the goal right now. Get Sikran neck and play some more Loons Chosen. Because I think this build actually has some potential. Not in every key, but Stonevault is a very, very good Elune's Chosen key in my opinion. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. I'll I'll catch you in the next one.